Good morning. Welcome to Seint. I'm so glad that you're here and embarking on a new journey with some awesome makeup. The cool thing about Seint is you'll have access to me and so many other resources if you get stuck on something as you learn how to work with the product itself. So feel free to reach out anytime. That's what I'm here for. It's so different than walking into like Ulta or Sephora. Sometimes it's intimidating to ask people for a color match or have like questions, and a lot of the times the product is like focused for different things. The cool thing with cream is it works for so many different ages, between teens and all the way up to very mature skin, and it looks beautiful on everybody because it doesn't settle in and dry down on your skin. It just moves and looks like a second skin. So that's what I absolutely love about this. But just know I'm here for you every step of the way, so don't feel like messaging me is a problem, because that's my job. I love doing it. I love helping women feel comfortable with their makeup and learn new tricks and just feel confident putting it on. I've always loved makeup, but I always felt like mine didn't look good compared to the things I was watching on like YouTube and things like that. So I self-taught myself, but it still never gave me the look that I was hoping for, and I didn't know what that exactly was. I knew I needed to cover my redness and rosacea and broken capillaries, and nothing really did that. And if it did, it was so thick and like my skin couldn't breathe that my skin just got kind of inflamed more because of it. So I found this product and it took a little adjusting, so don't feel like after the first or second try of applying it, you might get a little frustrated, because trust me, I left it on my vanity for about a month. So don't give up on yourself, and know that your skin takes a little adjusting to the formulation. Our creams are very clean. There's only 11 ingredients, but your skin does need to acclimate to them. Give your skin about 1 to 2, maybe even 3 weeks to really adjust to how the creams go onto your skin, and it will just go on like butter once we get past that like initial stage. And if there's ever a time where your makeup looks orange, like too dark, that's an easy change. We'll just email Seint and they will do an exchange, and you can get a lighter shade, or you can mix with your lighter, brighter shade to make a custom shade. If you're ever seeing texture, or maybe like your pores are showing through, then we just might need to shade up. So don't feel like, okay, my color match might not be perfect. That's okay. We'll adjust it as you start putting it on your skin. I love being able to work virtually with women because it's a cool way to connect with people I never would have met otherwise. But just know sometimes doing a virtual color match might not always be perfect, just because I'm not physically putting the makeup on you. So just know to also give me some grace as well, that if your color match isn't perfect, that we'll figure it out and get it to that point. So just be willing to work with me and try different things on your skin, and we'll find your perfect match. Now, also having a larger compact, you can get a couple different shades that will give you that wiggle room to accomplish your skin throughout the whole year. So our skin gets lighter during the winter. We obviously get more sun in the summer, so we'll have different shades, and having a larger compact, you can accommodate those changes. And then just having a couple tools in here for color correcting and things that might come up if you get acne or some dark spots, that kind of thing. Okay, so in your compact, you're going to see highlight colors that are like a lighter yellowy orange cream tone. Those are your highlights, so that's like your foundation color. Then you have contours, that's your also foundation, but it gives you dimension and also coverage. Most of you will have 2 colors. This will be your skin tone color to even you out, and then you'll have a brightening color to really give you a pop of color in that way. Mine are right here, the 2 bright ones, sorry. This, if you have a darker one that looks like too orange on your skin, that's because maybe you have some dark blue that you need color correcting, that this just won't do that color correcting as well as a dark color will, if that makes sense. If you have 2 different contours and one's very light, that's because there's 2 colors in our light contours. This one's walnut and also aspen, that are great for color correcting. The light contours are amazing for color correcting either redness or melasma. So if you have a light contour compared to your normal darker contour, that might be a color corrector. So if you have questions about what the tints are and what the colors are for, reach out to me. I want you to feel confident. So for me, I have walnut in here. This will cover redness, large pores, and melasma. So if you have this color too, you're going to start with that and find on your skin areas that need that extra coverage that like a normal skin tone color might not do. If you don't have a light contour like walnut or aspen, then you might have mango. So just depending on what you are matched with, you'll use one of these as your color corrector and you'll start there. Seint is also very customizable and also user friendly. So you might have a brush, but you can also apply it with a finger and then blend it out. Or using a smaller brush like this, you can apply it in like dots or lines and then blend it out. So it's very easy to work with, and there's many different ways. So I'm going to show you, if you have that contour color and you have, maybe you have large pores or redness on your nose, you're going to tap that in on those areas. I'm going to go where my redness and rosacea is. So you'll take your brush. If you have the 3D brush, I love this like kabuki dome side. You're going to tap into the product. You're not going to swipe or dig because you'll get too much. You're just going to tap it in to get it on the brush, and then you're going to tap it onto the skin. And this will start to diffuse. So for me, redness, if you have large pores or that melasma. So again, you're going to tap, and my redness, rosacea, comes down here. You can see it's a little dark for my skin, but that's where my 3D colors come in. This is just my color corrector. If you don't have a color corrector, that might mean that you don't need it, or maybe you want to invest in it later. So just skip this step if you don't have it. But it's just diffusing the areas that are dark on my skin that need that extra bit of coverage. Put it around your nostrils. If you have that redness, again, just tap in. Put it on that redness that I get right there. And then you can even put it over your lid and it will kind of even everything out. But everything's tapping motions. So that is your color corrector. Easy peasy, you just dampen on those areas that need the coverage. So hopefully that makes sense. Like I said, it will most likely be this darker color, which is like mango or papaya. If it's a light contour, it's usually going to be walnut, which I have on, or aspen if you struggle mostly with redness. But walnut will cover that redness just like it did for me. Now you're going to go into your 3D compact of the main colors that I matched you with. So you're going to have skin tone colors and then brighteners, as well as a dark contour. So let me show you how to use the brush, as well as the kind of paint by numbers, so you can decide how you want to start applying it. Now I do recommend, and this is personal preference, but start with this and then you can always adjust it later. But I always recommend starting with your contour first, because it kind of gives you a roadmap to the rest of your face, and you end up using less of your foundation color because you're getting that coverage already. So on this side of my face, I'm going to use a small brush. You can use the multitasker brush, your finger, or the smudge brush for this. And you are going to apply the contour along your hairline, and the contour is a little thicker than our light highlight colors, so you have to go in it a little tiny bit harder than you will when you notice when you use this, so just be aware. So I will connect this over here with my 3D brush in just a second, but contour, think temple to temple, so that it brings the attention to your eyes. And then you're going to find your cheekbone, and you can feel it, your cheekbone's right here. So it's kind of like at the top where your ear connects to your face. And you're going to bring that in, just like that, okay? And that's going to chisel. So that's cheekbones, and then you're going to follow the jawline. So we already have a shadow here. So we're just following that shadow. And then see how this area is always lighter because the sun never gets it? We're just going to put that contour right there. So very, very simple over here. I'm going to show you the brush. So take your 3D brush, the dome side, and you're going to press into your contour. Remember I said it's a little stiffer, so you got to kind of tap into it a little harder. If it's cold where you live, the creams are going to be a little harder, so you might have to warm them up. But applying it with the brush I love because it kind of blends it out as it goes. It's still going to be a little harsh, and we're going to blend that in after. But so like I said, your first line is temple to temple, whether you use the brush all over or the small one to make the lines and then blend later. Either way works. Go back in, tap, 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 find that cheekbone, and we're going to tap that in. Now I like the tapping motions because you get the best coverage. If you swipe, you get more of a sheer coverage, and I'm all about the coverage. I want my redness covered, so I like to tap. So I've got that definition right there. Last step is that jawline, and I like the brush for this one because you can really blend it out. Over here you just have to remember to blend it out later. Now there are a couple areas that you can also contour, but we're going to start there just because this is a new concept and I want you to feel comfortable and not overwhelmed. So think of it in 4 lines. 1 is temple to temple, 2 and 3 are under each cheekbone, and then 4 is under your jawline. So hopefully that makes sense and you feel comfortable doing that. Okay, now we're going to go into our highlight colors. This is your skin tone colors, that kind of thing. So I'm kind of in between shades, so if you see me going back and forth, that's just because in the winter I kind of blend the two together. But because I already have that color corrector on, I don't need to use a whole lot of my summer shade, which is nice. So I'm just going to use this side, and I'm going to place this skin tone color where I need it. So it'll be my forehead, along my cheek, along my jawline, and along my chin, lip area. Okay, so I'm just applying it where it goes, and then I will blend that out. Put my brush down using the 3D brush, and the same side I'm going to use the same color. Okay, going into that same color, now I'm going to tap into this color like I did the contour. And remember, this is a little bit more soft because it's a highlight color and it's meant to move with your like smile and your facial expressions. Contour is meant to be placed there and just stay. So I'm going to come along my jawline, and using the brush, like I said, it starts to blend it as you go. So because I have that color corrector on my cheeks, I really want to make sure I'm pressing and not dragging. Like, you don't want to swipe and drag. Okay, and then I'm going to press that right there, just like that. Okay, so that's my skin tone color, and I will blend it further as we go. Now using the same 3D brush for this side, I'm going to switch it over to this pointier side and go into my lighter, brighter color. Now you can have Sunlit, which is a little more yellow, and this is such a pretty color, especially in the summer, to really bring out the brightness in your skin. You can also go lighter, like Linen or Versailles. I'm almost out of that, so I'm going to use Sunlit today. And you're going to press that under your eye and like towards the side of your nose. And then you're going to come out to the outer corner of your eye, and that's going to create a lighter, brighter lifting effect. And then you're going to put this in the center of the face, okay? So with this side, it's more placing, and then you can blend it out with this side. But it just brightens that up. And then I like to come down with my finger, down the bridge of my nose, and on the tip. And then I'll come right here and right there. If you use your finger or the small brush like I have right here, you're going to do the same thing, pick it up, and you're going to come right here to brighten, right here to brighten and lift, right here to brighten. And this is already kind of done because I did it with the other brush. And another cool trick, which you could stop right there, but I do want to show you on both sides. You can add a little bit of that brightness right under your contour. It'll give a little extra brightness and contrast between the two. And yes, it looks crazy right now, but I promise, just trust the process. Now this is where you're going to blend it together. Now I recommend either the 3D brush, the one that you've been using, all the product left over, it's not that much, so you can just blend that in with everything else, or you can get the blush bronzer brush, and this one is my favorite for blending everything. But I will stick with the brush you most likely have, and you're just going to start with the light sections, and you'll see that both sides, even though I applied it slightly different, but in the same placements, they're going to blend together to give you bright, dimensional, one layer skin, one layer makeup that looks like skin. And as the creams are on your skin, they warm up. Your body heat will warm them up, and they will just blend in so much better. Just remember, prepping your skin is very important. You want to have a good skincare regimen and everything to start with, because it will make a huge difference in the way your makeup applies and goes on your face. So if you're struggling in that area, let me know. I love skincare just as much as I love makeup, so I would be happy to help you to like go down different routes of possibilities to help make your skincare routine even better. So now I've got all my like light areas blended. And this is where you might need a mirror. So we've got our mirror just to make sure everything's blended where it needs to be. You can even use your finger in those nooks and crannies. So all that's blended really nice. I've got the coverage that I need, the light brightness. Now I'm going to go in and soften my contour on this side. I don't need to do much blending because it's already started to blend. It already started to blend because of the brush application. So I'm just softening it where it touches like my hairline and the highlight color. And I already blended it down my neck. So this side where I put the line, don't forget to blend that down. The only thing I find with this application, sometimes I feel like I need a little more contour than what I applied, so you can always go in and add more. But let's see what we've got. And then for your contour, you're going to blend it upwards. So you're pressing and blending to get that shape. So I am going to go in just a tad bit more because I like a bit more contour. See that? Okay. And then we're going to press in this harsh line. It's warmed up on my face, so it's going on. So you can see both applications were similar but different. The placement was the same. You just applied it whether it was with a brush or your finger and a small brush in those line dot method. But it's a gorgeous finish. Now you might be used to the liquid foundations that are very mattifying but also very drying. A lot of them have alcohol in it, and once it sets on your face you can't fix anything. If you mess up on your cream, say you get contour up by your eye, you can blend it out and fix it. There's no setting until you're ready to set it at the very end with setting spray. So this is why this makeup's so cool, because it's user friendly. If you mess up your eyes, you can easily fix whatever you've got going on because of the formula of this cream foundation. So this is awesome. This is your foundation. You could stop here, but most of you have a blush, maybe an illuminator, so I'll talk about that in a second. So you might have started off with a color corrector. That's if you have a little bit darker pigment, being red or dark tones on your skin. That's where those two darker colors come in handy. So if you started with that, that's where you start to get the color correction first. Then you'll go in with your main color to even, your contour to add that definition. They're all working together. They're all giving coverage. And then you brighten the center of your face with that brighter color. So hopefully that makes sense. Please reach out if it doesn't, because I'm here to help. I promise. Before I put my lip and cheek on, if you did get a bronzer, I want to show you how you can apply that. Now, we have some beautiful bronzers. I have been using, since winter, this really cool color called Suede. It's actually a lip liner. I've been loving it as a bronzer. So you can take a brush like the blush bronzer brush, and you're going to apply it above your brow. So you're going to think of bronzer as where the sun would naturally kiss your face. Contour is more ashy, has coverage, ash tone, and creating shadows. Bronzer is sheer and it's warm, so it's like what the sun does. So you're going to think of it in like a C shape around the eye. So you're going to go on the high points of your cheeks and right above your brow, and then I'm going to fluff that in, and it just adds a little bit of warmth. My phone was being silly and I didn't record that I just brought it all the way down my chest where I'm nice and white, so I apologize for that. But just tap into your bronzer, or like I said, I'm using suede, so it's very versatile makeup. You can use it for many different things. And I focused above my brows and my high cheekbones. And then another spot that I love using a bronzer or this suede lip liner is as a base on my eyeshadow. And I can wear it alone because it gives me that instant warmth and dimension without looking too done up. It just adds that dimension there. It's so good. All right, now you're at the fun part where you get to add color, lip and cheeks. We have many different shades to choose from, and there's matte shades to like semi-gloss to gloss. So they're not super long wearing on the lips, just so you know. I do incorporate like other colors that I love from other brands, so you can mix, but I love these colors especially for blush and to start off on my lips. But what you can also do is get a small compact and just put lip colors in it and keep that in your purse, and you can touch up your lips as you go. So there's lots of options like that. But you're going to take this side, I'm going to use my finger, and this side I'm going to use the brush so you can see both ways. Okay, so this side with the brush, this is the 3D brush. You most likely have this or something similar. You're going to tap into the color you want. It's usually very pigmented, so just be aware. And this blush placement is very personal. If you want more of a lift, you're going to come back higher on the cheekbone, like this bone right here. If you want more of a full looking blush, you're going to put that on your apple. I tend to like it a little bit further back, so you're going to place it on that high cheekbone and you're going to start blending that in. And this brush we've used for the whole side to blend everything and apply everything. So you've got a beautiful tone to your skin. Compared to this side, this is beautiful even, but just adding that extra bit of color makes like the world of difference. You can also apply it with your finger. Remember, the blushes are very soft, very pigmented. So I'm going to apply that back here with my finger, and then I'm just gonna, I have very little left, but I'm just gonna put that on my cheek or my lips so I don't waste it. Take that brush and we're gonna soften it. It's all cream. It's all going to warm up and blend in on your skin so beautifully. See that? So that was the color nude. What I like to do is mix nude with like another color. So a lot of times I love this color Petal. It's a very pale pink that I probably wouldn't use on its own on my lips because it's so pale, but I love it on the fronts of my cheeks where the apples are. I just feel like it adds a little bit of a youthful tone, like my skin is just super hydrated. So if you can see the difference, this side's glowy, but that has that smidge of like bubblegum pink, but it's so subtle that it just gives that extra bit of youthfulness compared to this side. So if you apply it with the brush, I just tapped once, and you're going to just kind of tap that in place on those more of like the apple of your cheekbone. Just make sure it's even on both sides. Just gives that extra bit of youthful flush to your skin. A lot of people go over their nose with whatever's left over. totally optional. Just showing that you can play around with this makeup, and there's really no rule. I'm just showing you different tools on how to apply it, and then literally the sky's the limit. Be on the lookout for all the cool new techniques that I try, or just different colors, combinations, things like that, because makeup's supposed to be fun, it's supposed to be creative, and feeling confident with a one compact makeup just is a big game changer. You can take it with you on the go, all that amazing stuff. So that is your highlight and contour. I did add bronzer. If you have bronzer, add that. If you don't, that's fine. That's something you can always add later. And then your blush. Then you can go in with your lip color. So I'm going to use a little bit of this. This is Ever Red. Another color that I like that's similar to Ever Red is this one right here, which is Royal. I'll swatch the two for you in just a second. It just adds a little bit of color to your lips. I do it very lightly, and then what I like to do is really tight, go in with my lip. Ooh, I just dropped it. This shade right here is a lip conditioner. I keep it by my bedside table because at night I always put some on. But what I do is I'll do like a light color like Ever Red or Royal and use it like a lip stain. And then I'll put our lip conditioner over top. It has skincare in it, so it's very nourishing on your lips. So that's what I will do with that. I will swatch Ever Red next to Royal for you. So that's Ever Red, and then this is Royal. Royal actually was surprising to me. It's very similar to my natural lip tone. I have a little bit more of a color to my lips than some people might have, like a little bit less. This color is so beautiful, even on the cheeks. So if you're nervous to try Royal because it looks super dark on the website, just know it shears out so pretty. So I'll just add a little bit of that on top. So try new colors if you want swatches of things. I'm glad to do that so you can actually see what they look like. Depending on what you order, this may be where you stop, and this is beautiful. You get the color, the lip color, the even skin tone, the dimension. It's just beautiful. This is where you would set your makeup. I'm going to go one step further in case you have an illuminator. We have cream and powder illuminators. Creams are more like skin-like. Those are my favorite. But if you want a little extra pop, I also do love the powder ones. I'll show you that in a second. But these give you that extra candlelit glow. So in the normal makeup world, you might hear highlights as that really pretty bright color on the high points of your cheeks. With Seint, we call our makeup highlight because it's highlighting and contouring our face to add brights and darks to give you this beautiful dimension. So because those are highlights, we call these illuminators. It's like a candlelit glow. And mine right here is rose gold, but it's mixed with one of our scents. So our rose gold by itself is just the illuminator, but we also have scents that have a smell to them. I have scent number 5. It's by far my favorite. Today actually launched a new scent number 7. I have not smelled that one yet, but 1, 3, and 5 are my favorite that I've smelled out of the collection we have already. Anyway, your skin is already glowy, but if you add an illuminator, it catches the sun even more. So in any lighting, you're going to get that extra bit of candlelit glow by adding the illuminator. We have in this tone, rose gold, which matches so many people. Angel is a really pretty pink tone. That's another favorite of mine. Pearl is more of like a white tone. We have Nova, that's like a champagne. So anywhere you want a little extra glisten, you're going to add the illuminator. Just anywhere you want to glisten a little more. You can put it on your collarbone. And this is very subtle, being the cream, so it just catches the light ever so slightly. If you use the powder, it will be a little more intense. And then I like this just because it smells good. So the powder I have in my other compact. Maybe. Yep. This one is a powder. It's called Photoshop, and it's really pigmented. It's so pretty. You can use this as an eyeshadow, wherever you want to just glisten a little bit more. Thing with the makeup that I want to show you, say you're wanting a little more brightness on your jawline, you can tap into your colors and go over it, because I haven't set it yet and it's buildable. I'm using very little, and it's just very user-friendly and easy to work with, so you can always add more. So I want you to remember that. Okay, setting your makeup is very important. You're gonna want to get setting spray. Ours smells like a dream vacation. It's so good. Mine's almost out. It might not have any more left, but you can also get like a cheaper version if you don't want to get the big one just yet, but I do love ours. So I'm not opposed for you mixing and matching with other things that you have. So like, don't feel like you only have to use Seint. You can totally mix this with other makeup too. So just remember, there's like never pressure to get all the things. So you're gonna want to either spray your whole face, get it really wet and let it dry down, or you can spray it onto your perfector sponge. Hopefully you have one of these. These are really a must with cream, because applying creams for the first time, you may use too much and it may feel a little bit like sticky, and you don't want that feeling. So this will help to blend everything in and pick up any excess. So when you get a sponge, if you get ours, they're about this size. You're gonna go into your bathroom, run it under a faucet, and really squeeze it. It will start to expand, shut off the water, wring it out completely. And then what I do is I take a towel and just get out all the excess water, so there's nothing like dripping wet or soaking about it. When I come back, this will be about double the size. It will just feel cold to the touch, and that's the consistency that you want. If you forget to do that, I just spray mine with Stay Spray and set, and that also works, but it really does work so much better if you get it wet, wring it out, and let it be that consistency. So just so you know, there's lots of times I do just spray it, and you can make it work, but if you do have the time to do it that way, you'll like the result better. All right, I'm back with a very big sponge. So like I said, it doubles in size, gets so soft, it's more like squishy once you do that water process, and there's nothing dripping out of it. I'm squeezing, nothing's coming out because I really wrung it out. Now it just feels cold. So that's going to be the consistency that you want to press in your creams. This will also ensure under your eyes and around your eyes that it won't cause creasing. And remember, with creams, unlike liquids, where you have high traffic of lines, things like that, yes, any makeup can settle a little bit into the lines, but ones that dry down with alcohol really emphasize those wrinkles. With creams, if you have any area that kind of wrinkles out, just take your ring finger, it's the most gentle, and you're going to warm up that area. It will help to diffuse that. So even throughout the day, like say you look in the mirror and you check and you're like, oh my, the harsher wrinkles around my eyes are starting to poke through, just tap that out. It's cream, it will warm up and it will diffuse out beautifully. So now I'm going to spray my sponge, or you can spray directly, so I'll show you that too. I do not have much of this left. So I've got it on my face. You're going to get your face really wet and let it dry down. You can use your hand. But like I said, a lot of times I will just spray it on my sponge. And this will set my makeup, leaving it dewy, picking up any excess. One thing you might not be used to with creams is sometimes your hair will get stuck to your face. Just move it. It's no big deal. If that bothers you, you can always set with a powder and a powder bronzer. Like it's totally fine if you want to set with a powder. You'll just get more of a matte finish. You'll still have beautiful dimension and glow even when you mattify it. But this is the finished result, all from one compact. I hope this was easy to follow. If it's not, please tell me. I'll try to simplify it even more for you. I just hope this is something you can follow along with and help you as you go. Remember to tap into the creams, don't swipe. Ooh, my phone's about to drop. And then tap it onto your skin and don't swipe. You want to lay the pigment there and buff it in that way. Hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions with colors, where to apply them, a color you might want to see in person, that's where I come in. I'm here to help you in whatever I can do. So that is your foundation. If you need to set with a powder, like I said, you can use a loose powder to set your T-zone. So set the loose powder with any area that is light. So I usually just do between my brows, under here, under my lip area, and my chin. If you're a face toucher or you lean on your face, you can totally set right here in your beard area. And then I leave the rest out to keep it dewy. But if you need to mattify that, get like a bronzer. So you can do that. The other cool thing is if you have our vanilla dust, it is a very fine milled powder. It will fit inside your compact, so you can totally mattify those areas if you want. Today I'm going to, well, I was going to go dewy, but I will show you. If you get our vanilla dust in our collections tab, you can get it with this brush and it will place the powder right there, and I'll show you what it does. If you like it matte under your eyes, it will mattify. It leaves it less, like, I feel like it's like a moisturizer on my skin. That's how this makeup feels to the touch. So if you're not used to that, you might want to mattify it first to get used to it and then move into the dewiness. I personally love it, but you can totally mattify it so it just takes that little bit of shine away. And if you were to touch that area, it would feel more like what you might be used to, just that. It'll just give you that like smooth finish where you can put your, finger on it and it not feel like a moisturizer. I love the feel of our makeup. It's so hydrating. People actually comment you on your skin and not your makeup, which is crazy. You can mattify in between your brows if you don't want that shine. Anywhere you want to, you can add that vanilla dust, or if you have a loose powder, you can always use that. The other bundle I wanted to tell you about, if you want to get the blush bronzer brush, you will save, I believe it's $10 or $12 in our collection tab if you bundle this with a bronzer. So the bronzer that I was telling you is amazing. Bella is beautiful all year round. You can get that with the brush and save money by bundling them together. So if you want to get a bronzer and want a new brush, that's like a must that I would totally recommend. Alright, so a quick tip when you get your makeup in the mail, you're going to get all these beautiful tins that look like this. There's a really pretty artwork on the top. On the bottom it will say what the product is and the ingredients and stuff like that. So what you do is you take your thumb and press up, and that tin will slide right out and your product's inside. Now they look tiny. I remember when I first got them, I'm like, this is not gonna last me at all, but I promise you they're so highly pigmented, and you only dip in and use a little bit of product each time. They will last you a really long time. The quickest one to go through usually is your main highlight color, just because that's going over a larger surface, but because you mix it with contour, it will last anywhere from 2 to 6 months for your highlight color, which is awesome. Okay, so once you slide that out, it will look like this. You can save these. These help kind of pull out your tins when they're in the compact. But then you're going to take the compact, and they're all magnetic compacts. So mine has 2 layers. What you're going to do is take your tin and just slide it in, and it magnetizes and it does not come out. So it keeps everything in here. And then when you do run out of a shade, you can either take your nail and go in between like that, or like I said, if you save a tin or 2, you can use that to pull these out, and it just pops them out a little easier for you. You go on the website, you order that one color that you need, and then you pop it in. That's actually how you end up saving money in the long run. Your initial purchase might be a little bit because you have to get a compact, a brush, and more of the colors all at once. But once you have your compact and know your colors, you're just replacing the ones as they run out, which is so cool because our foundations, they last you a really long time and they're only $16, and you can custom blend to find your perfect shade. A lot of bottled foundation are anywhere from like the 20s to the 60s, so you save a whole lot of money. And then just popping them in and out. And of course, if you want to add new colors as they come out, or as you look on the website and see, oh, I would love to add like a really pretty pink, or, you know, a bronzer in my compact, you can add those in your compact and grow with your compact. So today, this compact in pink is launching. It just launched. It's on the website right now. I love this. It's like a matte color, so it'll be matte pink. And then it has this raised, beautiful ST logo. And then it has a metal piece right here to open it up. This is probably by far my favorite compact, so I'm so excited to get the pink one. I'm gonna go in with Bubba and just press this all over my lid to give some warmth and definition. And then I go in my crease and slightly above. It just warms up your eye, and you can get away with just wearing one color, or you can build it up with more colors to get more of a dimensional look. But for most days, I'm on the go and I just want a little bit of color. I will just do that, and then I will flip it over, and I will either use the same color, or I love Sedona, and I will hug my eye with my lashes, and it will frame out my eye and make my lashes appear darker, because I don't wear mascara, and I definitely don't wear mascara under here, so this adds the illusion of my eyes being wider, more framed, and I just really like that. So I will go in with a little bit of that color in the corner just to tie it in above. And these brushes are also double-ended, so it just adds a little definition up here. So I just have Bubba and Sedona to give me a little bit more depth to my eyes.